Hello, and welcome to one of the interviews that I'm doing with the wonderful game masters that are helping me with my summer role-playing game week. Once again, I am Lindsay Dwyer, and I am the geek girl at Keller Williams Mountains to Sound. I love putting on these kind of events because I get to meet a lot more nerdy people, try new games, that sort of thing. And I'm really happy to introduce my friend Edward here. Edward, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Hello, I'm Edward Berg. I've been playing RPGs for as long as I can remember, at least uh, 20 years now. At Started at a young age. Dad was into it. Started with Dungeons and Dragons Second Edition, and kind of just moved my way up.
Awesome. And how long have you been GMing?
So I've been GMing for maybe 15 of those 20 years. Just when third edition D&D came out, some friends and I would just get together at recess and play little 30-minute snippets.
Excellent.
Sometimes using dice. Most of the time it's just making stuff up as we played.
Excellent. And I also want to add an extra question on here. How long have you been playing Warhammer?
So I've been playing Warhammer for, I want to say, maybe 10 years. Originally got into it when I went to a scout camp and they had a little raffle, and we ended up winning a little Imperial Guard lot at the raffle. Didn't know what it was at the time until one of the older scouts told us what it was.
Well, excellent. I love that it's not the usual. I went and spent a whole bunch of money for my first purchase. I got brought into it through another means, and
Yeah,
then you spend all the money.
got into it with the models. It was Imperial Guard, which is just your basic army soldier. Parents were in, or dad was in the military, so it's like, oh, cool, military models. And then like, hey, there's a game to it.
Nice, excellent. Um, so, what game are you running for the role-playing game week?
So I am going to be running Warhammer 40K Wrath and Glory, which is a D6 based system where you'll be assembling a dice pool based on whatever your stats your character has. And then you have what's called a rat or a glory dice, which will allow you to add narrative spins if you roll a 6 on it.
Excellent. I played this one with Edward before. It is a lot of fun. I'm already a Warhammer fan. Definitely more Xenos fan than Guard fan or Imperial fan. But that's just, I love my orcs too much. So when it comes to this game, I also want to dive in because people get intimidated by the fact that it's Warhammer 40K. Do you need to have any knowledge of Warhammer 40K before you play?
It would help, but it is completely not necessary to know anything about it. It is Wrath and Glory is pretty much a basic sci-fi horror or gothic horror style game.
Excellent. And while I've played in some of your games, I'd like to know, how would you describe your particular game master style?
My particular style is, I believe as a group, we are trying to tell a narrative story. And so I'll set out the setting for them. And then as players, I like them to interact with it, tell me what you're doing, and then we just bounce off each other as we develop the story as it goes on.
Excellent. Nice cooperative game together.
Yep.
What is the hook for the adventure for our martyred saint, and why should someone sign up for this game?
So our martyred saint, you will be playing as an inquisitorial agent, which is someone who works essentially for the government in Warhammer 40K. And you're being sent to a hospital to investigate why, like, the city lost contact with them. So no communications, no, like they're sending people there, they're disappearing. So now they're sending in, okay, we need to send in special forces to see what's going on there. So while you're there, you're investigating what's happening, but more importantly is you're tasked to recover any religious relics from the hospital, which which the people that you work for value more than what's actually happening there.
That sounds about right for Warhammer.
Yeah. Why you should play is if you enjoy while it does kind of have like a gothic horror theme, it's a much more laid back system. It's very narrative driven, so it's you saying what you want to do, you roll the dice, and then you describe how it happens. And the inclusion of the glory die really helps with that, because it's the same as in like D&D. If you roll a nat 20, that's an auto success. But in Wrath and Glory, when you roll that critical success, you can say like, oh, I shoot this explosive barrel behind them and it blows up and it hits all the surrounding enemies or whatever. Or I hack into this computer and not only do I open the door, but I can get access to all the computer logs in it. So
Excellent.
it definitely opens up for much more narrative play.
Fantastic. And it also kind of is always keeping the game moving forward with that too.
Yes.
Because you won't end up being in a slog because you'll have those extra moments of heroism, essentially.
Correct.
That's the glory, I should say, of the Wrath and Glory.
Yeah.
And you're going to be using the Roll20 tabletop, correct?
Correct.
Excellent. So I'd say that's a free account. Anyone needs help getting that set up, either Edward or I can help you with that. There might be some people who have only played the tabletop game, the war game, and not the role-playing game. So definitely a little bit different, and particularly doing it online, because doing a miniature game online is a very different thing than doing a tabletop role-playing game.
Definitely.
So, well, thank you so much, Edward. Once again, if you want to sign up for this game, it is at summer.geekgirlre.com, which is summer.geekgirlre.com. And it is going to be Saturday, August 19th, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. This is our very first game of the RPG week, so get in for this one. Like I said, Saturday, August 19th, and it is called Our Martyred Saint. So thank you again, Edward. And I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye.